Welcome to Late Night Live, guys. You know, growing up in the 80s, man, we had Rambo, Commando. The list goes on. But if you look at Hollywood today, they used to sell men that could rip. Well, you look at Hollywood back in the day, they used to sell men that could rip doors off hinges. Now they're selling these polished mannequins and pearls. The transformation isn't accidental. It's a program. They sand men down because strong men are dangerous and dangerous men don't obey. You look at this right here, The Rock and Dave Bautista. Now, Dave Bautista's, both these guys are leftists. I think Dave Bautista's extremely left. But Hollywood is taking these guys and whittling down. This image of The Rock appeared like yesterday, and the internet went wild. But while the movie set turns you into a house pet, the real world is moving, guys. We just had 33,000 pages of Epstein files dropped, missing minutes from the footage where guards strolled to his door right before the magic trick. Then U.S. hit a Venezuelan drug boat. And Donald Trump, who vanished just long enough to return, leaving a whole lot of questions. Now, tonight we're cutting through all of it, names, networks, and the part you're not supposed to say out loud. Okay, so let's get into it, man. Let's start off with the masculinity program. Culture is not entertainment. It's conditioning. When every alpha gets repackaged into a soft photo shoot friendly doll, that's the message to you to be harmless. Harmless men don't ask who financed Epstein. Harmless men don't ask who protected him. Harmless men don't notice when warships move into a region and a cartel boat suddenly has ventilation it didn't order, right? They've been domesticating American males while running industrial scale black male and power ops behind the curtain, right? You're supposed to clap, stream another sequel on Netflix, and stop lifting. Not here, though. Not here. Now, let's talk about the Epstein paper avalanche that just got hit, right? House Oversight dumps 33,295 pages. You know the drill. Bury the truth under paperwork, drown the public. So the only conclusion is fatigue. Information overload is a camouflage pattern like my shirt. Now, Anna Paulina Luna walks out and says Epstein may have been working with foreign intelligence. Enemies. Listen to her.
Up on that. There's some very rich and powerful people that need to go to jail. I think everyone's been frustrated as to why that hasn't happened before. But it is very much so a possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset working for our adversaries. But also, too, I think the questions that we have is how much did our own government know about it? And so there's more to follow, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from the chair.
All right, a few things. One, she said rich, powerful people need to go to jail. We knew that. And the cover-up was happening. She said the government knew about it. She just said it right there. But the biggest thing is foreign intelligence adversaries, enemies. Bullshit. That is a decoy. Enemies is what they say when they need distance from their friends. My read, it wasn't enemies. It was allies. You want the word Mossad? Say it with me so it stops being forbidden. This was the honey trap of the century, run with a wink and a handshake across borders, a blackmail conveyor belt for politicians, tech overlords, bankers, and Hollywood parasites. And every time a thread pops up, man, the system slaps your hand. Conspiracy, unfounded. Meanwhile, flights kept flying. Handlers kept handling. VIPs kept arriving like clockwork. You ask yourself, how does a lone creep maintain a logistical empire of pilots, properties, security, safe harbor, protection, and decades without an institutional shield? The answer is he doesn't. Now, let's look at some of the documents because we got transparency. Does this look like transparency to you? Redactions and the the people that drink the Kool-Aid are going to say, oh, it's the victims' names. I read through it. These are not victims' names. These are powerful people's names. Oh, we're going to really dig into it here, right? Yep. Getting to the bottom of it. Transparency. Here we go. Oh, dadgum. What does that say? Who's being protected now? Oh, look at the phone logs. You see these phone logs? Call received, inbound, outbound. Names to, from, blacked out. Transparency. Another oddity came up. If you look at this form here, it talks about him having an Austrian passport. And they're asking how he got it. And it says, some Jewish Americans get other countries' passports. These passports had stamps and so on of countries he's never been to. He's never been to them. What does that tell you? He didn't get it from the government that it was issued from either. That means he's definitely an intelligence operative. High level that can forge passports. Right? Tell me. Transparency. On top of all that, now we have this video. The officials preach glitch. Remember Pam Bondi was sitting up there with Trump and they said, oh man, it was just a glitch. It happens every night of minutes. And then we had another video pop up with a guy in an orange suit in the background over there by a cell. They always say it's a glitch, but the footage right now shows guards heading for Epstein's cell right here at 11:59:39. They told you it was murky footage. That's not a glitch. That's a time visit with when operations end. They don't trust chaos. They trust procedure. Remove the liability, sanitize the scene, and you're going to see it in a second. We're going to get there. They want you arguing, man, over whether the rope was tight or loose, or while the network responsible keeps power. The more you debate the method, the less you ask the question about who's the sponsors. Classic misdirection. Right? The footage is there. Guards roll up. You see it? See that movement? From the desk right there in front of his cell. Right? Yeah. Now, again, man, it's crazy. Right? They want you arguing over this junk. The network responsible is keeping power. The more you debate the method, the less you ask about who the sponsors is. Again, it's misdirection. Right? They don't release transparency. They release camouflage. We weren't watching a self-deletion. We were watching an asset disposal. The question isn't, did he do it? The question is, who ordered the cleanup? Am I right? Now, what's even more alarming, if we let's step into the blast zone for a second. Have you saw the post? Steve Bannon, calling it an open secret that John Ratcliffe, yes, Trump's DNI, the man over the intel community, is controlled by Mossad. That's the claim. The media job is to scream baseless and move on, right? But what I'm doing is I'm looking for patterns. See, pattern one, whenever a scandal touches a certain network, the press turns into a synchronized swim team, zero curiosity, all condemnation. Pattern two, anyone who names Mossad in the context of leverage gets marked as radioactive, no matter their resume. Pattern three, Every time there's a massive blackmail story, the pipeline of protection points to the same pipe. I'm not asking you to believe it because I said it. I'm asking you to notice the reaction when you do say it. Watch who panics. Watch who suddenly becomes concerned about disinformation, hoaxes, and who gets quietly uninvited from the panels and follow the trail. It's becoming absolutely insane, right? Tell me. Vladimir, I always love to see Vladimir Putin in my chat. Thank you, buddy. He's living his best life on a new island with accounts so active. Vladimir, you're absolutely right, because it is happening. Accounts, money's being moved. He moved a lot of money the day before. He's supposed to tuck himself out, and then it's still moving right now, currently. So, yep, he's being protected. Now, while that paperwork snowstorm is flying in D.C., the Caribbean got loud today, man. U.S. military engages a drug vessel tied to Venezuela. Now, I can show the footage up until, because YouTube will not allow me to show the actual blast, but it's a precision strike. Caracas does what tyrants do. They do this, right? They post corny intimidation videos. Now watch this video.
Aquí estamos los hijos de Bolívar y Chávez. Rodilla en tierra, bayoneta escalada, esperando cualquier intruso invasor para demostrarle de qué estamos hechos.
So a sweaty intimidation selfie on the deck, waving some prop. Let me translate, man. The region's a super highway, cartel logistics, war level logistics, man. And the Venezuelan regime with its pet thugs is a toll booth on that highway. The U.S. obviously parked warships to say, pass at your own risk. And that strike delivered punctuation marks, if you get what I'm saying, right? Again, I can't show the full footage here because I've done that before and they nuke your video. And if I was a progressive, blue-haired leftist and I posted a video, nothing would happen. But because they don't like my message, they would use that to attack me, right? But everyone already understands the message, man. The adults are back in the room, okay? Now, under the left, they'd have never took action like this. This is action that needs to be taken, right? Man, Biden sending pallets of money to everybody, right? And it's funny because the gangs, this was Trinidad Arawa that they hit. The gangs, they told you weren't taking over freaking apartment complexes, right? That they're just disorganized street crews. They're transnational battle networks with better communications than most police departments. You need a Navy doing this with the ships full of Marines, because these aren't kids on mopeds. They're armed for real cartel network with flag protection behind it, aka Venezuela, right? This is not some neighborhood issues. You don't deploy destroyers for that, okay? You know, Maduro's posting these cosplay videos trying to scare America, the Marines, Navy warships, right? The Navy will make you not exist anymore, okay? Now, I always like seeing stuff like that. Seeing turds get taken out, guys. But I do believe they probably will invade them, probably boots on the ground, because Karen Levitt said last week there'd be potential boots on the ground. And I know a lot of you guys may not watch my every video, which you should, because you can't be caught up to speed. But the thing is that these are a transnational drug cartel, the Maduro regime. They are evil people pumping fentanyl in here. They are backed by China. Dude, today Maduro held up some kind of phone, like secure phone, saying he can call Xi Jinping directly anytime, and he said that the U.S. government can't like wiretap it, but you know damn well China is. They're listening to every conversation Maduro is making on that thing. He you know, he's a bus driver before, so he's not a very intelligent man if you watch him talk for 2 minutes. The other thing that gets me about every time I see Maduro and the and him giving a press conference, it's like he's filming that thing on one of like the Nokia flip phones with the first camera. Like it's the worst footage ever. Like in Venezuela, they can't afford a good camera. It doesn't make any sense, man, for the president or dictator, right? Now let's talk about the oval elephant real quick. President Trump disappeared for a few days. Okay, I did a video about last night. The internet goes full detective. Body doubles, mask, secret trips, medical procedures. They said it all. Today he reappears. Now, this was the photos I used last night. I mean, obviously something ain't right there, dude. Something ain't right. And who knows? I mean, this gives you speculation. What is this lump on his head? He didn't look good. He didn't look good. Okay. And he doesn't look good today either. His eyes are very puffy, right? Swollen look. His voice is still Trump. His cadence is still Trump, but the face says, man, I've been through something. Now, could have been the flu. I'll post this video up here. You can kind of see here him talking. Could it be stress? Could it be a stroke scare? I don't pretend to know, but I'm telling you what I see. Now, I do know Trump is a fighter. He, you know, look, the thing is I've been unhappy with the man lately. I've been unhappy. I would still vote him over Kamala, and I'd still vote over him over everybody today. He's just not draining the deep state like I expect him to. He said he was going to do. He's promoting Lindsey Graham, which is beyond me. Bringing 600,000 Chinese over. There's so many things. You know. But the man is a fighter. He is a hardworking man. I do get it. Maybe he's just tired, but I don't think he goes off the charts for 4 days. Now, he addressed it because someone asked him today, and he said he'd done interview and such, but he did not make public appearances. That was the thing. So it leads me to think that something happened, man, right? He looked like he just come out of a tunnel, and the timing is right before the Epstein dump hits the narrative machine. You know, narrative machine's revving, right? Now, if you don't think that the permanent class wouldn't run cover, doubles, edits, controlled appearances to keep the country from sensing vulnerability, you haven't been paying attention, man. These people script reality. If they can stage manage riots on a summer afternoon, they can stage manage presidential optics anytime. So that's the thing, man. So to say that they wouldn't do that, they absolutely would. But bottom line, he's back. But the look wasn't nothing, right? So follow it, keep watching, pay attention. But it was odd for him to just go AWOL and then reappear like this today, looking off. I mean, this is definitely an off look. This is not typical Trump. Face is swollen, eyes are swollen. Maybe he had some kind of medical serious emergency, right? Maybe trying to take him out. JD Vance is chomping at the bit to get in there to run Palantir into all your households. Okay. And dude, I'm going to touch on Palantir more. I just hadn't had time. But this stuff is so deep and dark, man, that it's really going to freak a lot of people out. Okay. Anyway. At the end of the day, man, everything connects. Soft men are compliant. Soft culture is blind. Soft language hides hard power. If you're soft, like I said, man, you won't ask names in a black man empire. You'll just take, oh, it's a hoax. If you're soft, you won't notice when foreign services hold the leash. Hell, you'll defend it. It's kind of like last night when I played the clip of the woman asking. I had so many people commenting. It's ridiculous. Like the Kool-Aid is drank. When Trump said you don't need a gun. She's talking about D.C. The National Guard is there. Okay. In D.C. to get a concealed carry permit, it's like a freaking actual. You got to get the Vatican to sign off on that thing, right? She can't get approval. She's wanting approval. That's she said, I want to carry a gun. Oh, you won't need a gun. She said, well, I want to carry a gun. He said, well, a lot of people do, but you won't need one because he's not going to change that, right? big thing is that the uniparty is not going to allow it to happen. We're in such a stalemate, and we have been for so long. No laws are going to get passed. Not any real laws. It's why Biden couldn't take AR-15s. So we're just in a stalemate. What we've come to is, and this has happened since George W., following in Obama, Trump first term, because the uniparty is truly in control, a president pretty much has to run executive orders. He can't get anything done. Even the people on the Republican side would not back damn near anything. If you want to know why, like the big beautiful bill turned out to be such a disaster, by then it got chopped alive, it's because the Republicans that are in bed with every other nation and military industrial complex and so on, they want to get their piece of the pie. Ilhan Omar just went from a net worth of $50,000 to $30 million. How do you do that? Because politicians, man, politics is money. But again, if you're soft, man, you'll accept the story about glitches from Pam Bondi while guards take a midnight stroll. If you're soft, you'll believe that, oh man, that's just a little boat that he blew up and they were good people, right? Instead of paramilitary logistics. And then if you're soft, you'll see a president look different, have a huge lump on his head, MIA for 4 to 6 days. And he's never done that. But you'll just say, well, it's normal. He was back out today. Listen, guys, they don't fear polite, pliable, air-fried men. They fear dangerous men with discipline. And women too. Women too. All my ladies out there, I know I got a lot of women followers that are hard chargers. I see their comments. They don't want you lifting. They don't want you reading. They want you praying. And they definitely don't want you to remember any damn thing. Everybody has the memory of a goldfish now, man. They forget everything. It's why I try to keep reminding people of everything. Like whenever Karen Levitt sat up there and said, oh man, those are hobbyist drones. People forgot about the drones. They were swarming my subscribers' houses. They were sending me videos. Like almost touching down on the house. Right? Never outsource your thinking to the feed, guys. Never. Never. Most of these guys are bought and paid for operatives, red and blue. Right? Now, I would say in the comments, if you will, name the network. Stop pretending Epstein was a solo act, man. The machine that protected him has uniforms, budgets, and 3-letter logos. Okay? And don't let the narrative move on, guys. The missing minutes matter because procedure matters. The visit at 11:59:39 isn't trivia. It's a signature. Keep track of the fentanyl supply chain warfare that's going on by state-protected gangs and who are backed by our serious adversaries. And watch the optics, man. Watch what they're telling you. Power hates witnesses. Refuse domestication, man. Train your body, sharpen your mind. Keep your spirit armored, right? They want you docile, be dangerous instead. Pay attention. Don't believe what you're getting fed. And like that lady asking permission, I'm not going to ask permission. I'm not going to ask for a consensus. I'm telling you what I see, okay? I'm telling you what I see. People, oh man, this and that. I'm not a biased guy. I try not to be, at least. I mean, I have bias, but when I'm giving my information here, I never try to be biased. I try to stick to facts. It doesn't matter whose team or whose bias I have. I'm a conservative. However, I will call out anybody because we have to. That's how we keep accountability, right? And if that makes the algorithm sweat, good. I've been shadow suppressed for years. Hadn't moved over 660,000. How does that happen? Right? Anyway, guys, I do appreciate you hanging out with me. I want to know your thoughts, man. All strange. A lot of it doesn't add up, or does it? Does it? Stay frosty, stay strapped, always stay dangerous.